like we don't even realize about grief sometimes. Things we're grieving aren't necessarily a death. Sometimes it's the loss of a job. It could be a friend. Like I just disconnected with a friend, which is kind of sad, but it was something that I guess had to happen. But it's like there's no closure. It's like it just ended. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel good. But I had to set a boundary that was, didn't feel good. But I thought I'm not going to let someone treat me like that. And that's really a grief, And I just didn't even realize that. And I was going through things and came across this, and I thought, oh, we need to talk about this. But there's probably a lot of things in your life that you might not even realize, or maybe you see other people who are angry or frustrated. And when you dig deep, what I'm learning is a lot of the underlying condition is grief, but people don't know how to process it. So they'll go through all those emotions of grief, which is really fascinating. So I just thought, maybe tonight would be a really good night to set the intention for not only the healing that we need, but any type of grief that we're all going through in different ways and forms and shapes that maybe we don't even talk about. And this is ambiguous grief. It's called ambiguous grief. And it's a grieving the loss of someone who's still here. And here's the thing, a lot of people are going through life living this. That's why I decided to create this video, and I wanted to share it with you. So we're going to talk about this topic a little bit more. Then we're going to go into a meditation with a healing for anyone who's looking to receive any energy healing for whatever it is you need. Just set the intention. But let me go back to ambiguous grief for a minute. It's the grief we feel for someone who's still living, like maybe you've lost a friendship, or maybe you've lost to a divorce, or maybe a child has moved away, or maybe you lost a job. These are all griefs that people don't always know how to process, and a lot of times we shove them down. And it's very similar to a Polaroid developing in reverse. So remember that next time someone is upset, stressed, or overwhelmed, and if you dig really deep, you'll find that underneath all those layers of pain is probably some type of ambiguous grief that the person has not yet processed. So, and I also want you to stick around to the end, because I'm going to share where one of the girls in the community gave feedback on what I was dealing with, having some pains in my body, and she absolutely nailed it. And I'll share with you at the end what we actually found out the very next day that I was not even aware of myself. So thank you for being here, and hang on for the rest of it. So if anybody else has an intention for that or something like that, go ahead, Joanne.
I just finished the grief educator certification, and they definitely we talked about that, and people don't honor it enough. For example, if you go through a breakup in a marriage, like divorce, or say you've got a fiance, for example, and it's they die. For example, people will say, well, you were just their fiance, you weren't married to them. The stuff people say really hurts. That's one of the main reasons why I took it as a medium, to know what to say to people when they go through all these different types of grief. But it's, people need to acknowledge that loss of a dog, loss of a pet, any kind, they become family. And people just sort of like, it's just pet. Or a 95-year-old grandmother or something. Oh, they lived a long life. However, every death is very significant. Doesn't matter how they passed, or how long or who they were. It's all very significant. And we need to honor it.
It really is. And I think the ones that are the hardest are the ones that you can't really even share with people, because they don't get it, because the person's not dead. Right. This friend I had to cut off. It's sad. I mean, we did a lot together, and I'm like, God, this is crappy. There's no closure, because, I'm waiting for an apology. Yes. It's probably never going to come. And I thought, You know what? I just have to be okay with that and forgive them and move on. But it's like, it still hurts sometimes. And you think, oh, but it's not something that you normally talk about, because people don't get it. And they're just like, oh, the hell with them. It's like.
And you go through a lot of the stages too, right?
And it's almost you're grieving what the fantasy of what was, even though that I wanted it to be more or anything, but it was a friendship. And it's kind of like I had dreams and hopes of, we're going to be friends for a long time. That was the fantasy. It wasn't like I want to be with this person or anything, but it was like, who am I going to hang out with? That stinks, because that was my friend that I hung out with. I'm like, not that I don't have other friends, but I did a lot with this friend, and I'm like, But
I totally relate to that. Been through that. couple times in the last 10 years.
Well, I
So
feel like I have too. And it's like, I never realized before that that's part of a grief. My brother moving to Florida. It's like we're all going through things. And I'm like, wow, that's a grief. And it's really weird, because you can't really talk about it like that. Your family's like, oh, he just had to move. And I'm like, well, what about me? You know what I mean? Like, it's just really interesting to me. And I'm just like, wow, I think so many people do hold on to that stuff and we just don't even realize it. Can anybody else relate with that? Probably all of us in some way. Go ahead, Leah.
I have a lot of clients that I work with that, they never got any type of closure, and I try to figure out how, as a therapist, I can help try to heal that wound. Sometimes I try to come up with some like rituals for us to try to do, like, write a letter that you'll never send, or, things like that. Try to have an experience to create closure, but sometimes it might help, but it's still not the same as getting closure from the person.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what I've really just been focusing on, is a lot of like self-love, taking care of me. And I think that's something that I think is the most important thing for anyone who's going through it, is really finding what feels good for you and focusing on that. Surround yourself with great people. So I'm really grateful you're all here, because you're all my friends. And I'm just grateful to have you here. So really hope tonight we have a wonderful experience. So the intention, pull in the angels. Look, and this is the card I'm looking at. Oh, this is pretty. It's all orange. So be creative energy, right? And it's ease and grace. Grace and flow and ease. And I love how he's got water. He has water pouring from one hand to the other. It's almost like, it's just this beautiful energy that's flowing. So maybe that's where we need to be, knowing that we're in divine timing, angelically protected for everything, especially in our healing circle. And it's going to be easy. Use grace, flow, and just let things go, right? Just kind of set that intention. So anything that you guys need, we're just going to set that intention now. So just take a nice deep breath for a second. And just set the intention for anything you want to let go of, anything you want to heal, and anything that's heavy, just to literally fall away. All right. So tonight, go near a babbling brook. So we're going to go through the meditation and then just stay in that nice place. Once the meditation ends, I will allow the energy to descend. So just allow yourself to receive. The best way to receive is to put your hands face up on your lap. When you're in the receiving face up position where your hands are up, you're just receiving, you're getting all that beautiful energy, and it's allowing it to come to you however it needs to. Once we go to send, then I'll bring you back out and then slowly kind of come back to, and if you have a pen and paper nearby, write down anything that might have come in. This part is going to be for you and for you only. So take a nice deep breath. We're just going to set the intention with the bells. Bringing the energy in, allowing our angels to be present with us. And just get yourself comfortable wherever you're sitting. Nice deep breath. And release what no longer serves you. And just imagine that we're walking along through the forest floor. And you can hear this little babbling brook off in the distance. You can hear it further away, and you're going to walk towards the sound of it. It's a beautiful, warm spring day. The air is light. There's a gentle breeze. The sun is very warm. You can feel it peeking through the trees. And you decide you're going to take your shoes off and get completely grounded. They'll be there when you come back. And you're just walking along the forest floor. You can feel the earth. It has almost a warm quality to it. It's a little sandy, a little bit clay. It feels really inviting on your feet. And just take a breath as you're walking along, hearing the water getting closer and closer. And you're starting to see it in the distance through the trees. As you're walking along, it's getting closer and closer. Now you've come up to the water, and you can see it flowing past you. And you see a beautiful, thick log that has some soft moss. Looks like it could be the perfect seat for you. And it's long enough that you could either sit on it or you could lay back. Placing your feet up on it, it's a really wide tree trunk. And it's so covered with moss, you think it feels super comfortable to lay down and just place your feet upon it so you can feel the earth under your feet through the moss. Your legs are bent. Your back is flat on this tree trunk. And as you take a breath, breathing all the way into the top of your head, holding it and releasing the energy. And as you release that energy, you feel yourself getting deeply grounded to the earth. We're going to take another deep breath in from the earth energy, letting it come up through your body, up to your heart, and another deep breath up to the head. And hold it for the top there. And let it flow out through your body, releasing what no longer serves. And take one more deep breath. Let it move all the way up through your body, up all the way to your crown. And holding it there and letting the energy flow out through your heart chakra. And as it goes out through your heart, it goes out in front of you, around you, behind you, above you and below you, surrounding you in this beautiful bubble of light. And in this beautiful space, you can hear the babbling brook beside you. You can feel a gentle breeze. And you feel completely grounded to the earth. You might hear some birds in the background. Maybe you hear the flutter of a butterfly. And just know that any sounds you hear will only take you deeper. And the deeper you go, the more you can relax. Just allow yourself right now to just be at peace and take one more deep breath in and just notice anywhere in your body where you might feel a little bit of tension or tightness. Maybe an area that needs a little extra healing. Just be aware of that area. And then take a deep breath and release it. And in this beautiful space, place your thumb and your two front fingers together, palms facing up. This is the receiving position. This is also a position for you to receive guidance and intuitive insights from your higher self, from your guides, from your loved ones, from the angels. So as you sit in this beautiful space, know that you may receive some messages at any time. There's no right and no wrong. But I want you to notice your feet, and I want them to ground deep down into the core of the earth, through this tree trunk, connecting in with the trunk's roots, going deeper and deeper down into the core of the earth. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, till they finally reach the core of Mother Earth. And you notice there are some crystals down below. Notice one that calls to you. And allow your feet, the roots, to grow and grab this crystal and wrap around this crystal. And as you do, notice the texture of it. Notice the color of it. Maybe you notice what type it is. Maybe it'll give you its name. And ask this crystal what it can teach you this evening for your healing session. And once you receive your message from the crystal, give a little tug on those roots. You might feel some of that water from the babbling brook floating down or seeping down into the earth's core with the crystal. And just feel that energy from the earth wanting to move upwards. And as it does, it moves up through those roots quite quickly, moving up and up, higher and higher, higher and higher. Higher and higher until it reaches the bottom of your feet, feeling a little jolt of energy as it reaches your feet, moves up through your ankles, your calves, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your quads, up into the base of your spine at your hips, And feel your root chakra beginning to turn on, spins clockwise as you flip the switch. The color red moves all around you in a circular position, going clockwise, spinning like a fan blade, getting brighter and brighter, illuminating that area at the root chakra. And as you take a breath, the energy moves upwards into your sacral chakra. The color is orange. Flipping that switch, you see that sacral chakra beginning to spin clockwise, getting brighter and brighter, opening up your creative centers. And as you take another breath, you move up into the solar plexus in the stomach area. You flip the switch, the color is yellow, and that solar plexus energy begins to spin clockwise, gets brighter and brighter, going wider and wider all around you. Feel all the energy below the lower chakras are completely grounded to the earth. You're very anchored, you feel very at peace. And as we take a breath, the energy moves up to the heart chakra. And in this beautiful sacred space of the heart chakra, imagine that we're all holding hands in this beautiful circle. We're all connected through love, light, and intention. The angels gather close. They've always been with us, but they move in closer to hear our prayers, pleas, positive thoughts for all the people who need them. So just imagine the person or people that need prayers and healing in the center of our circle right now. See them completely well. See them smiling, happy, and at peace. And as you take a breath, release them to the angels, knowing that for their highest and best good, they will receive exactly what they need. And just release them and let them go. As they fade away, start to see yourself in the center of the circle. Seeing yourself completely well, healed, whole, smiling, and completely peaceful. See yourself the way you want to see yourself. And then taking a breath, give the information and the energy of everything that you'd love to be in your life or have, and just give it to the angels for transformation, and just release it. And see that fading away as you come back into your heart chakra. Feel that heart chakra expanding, getting wider and wider. The color is green. As you flip that switch, the energy starts to expand outwards in front of you, behind you, from side to side, and all around you. Feel your energy expanding outwards and upwards. As we take another breath, the energy begins to move up into our throat chakra. The color is teal. As you flip the switch, see that beautiful teal light moving in a clockwise position, spinning wider and wider all around you. Feel the breath hitting the back of your throat. Just be aware of what you're aware of. And as you take another breath, allow the energy to move up to the third eye now. You may see an eyeball opening. You may see a starry night sky. The color is indigo. Flip that switch and see it spinning clockwise in a beautiful position, getting wider and wider, opening up for the highest and best good for you to see clairvoyantly, if that's meant to happen this evening. And as you take another breath, feel the energy now moving up to the crown chakra at the top of your head. Beautiful lotus flower is opening. All the petals are opening one by one. The color is violet. And as it opens, wider and wider, the light from the heavens can seep in more and more. Feel this beautiful energy coming into the top of your crown, this healing white light energy. Even if you're laying down, it can pour right in there. And just feel it going through your entire body, from the top of your head, all the way down through your organs, your arms, your entire body, through your legs, down to your feet, and let it flow and fill you back up. And as it's filling you back up, it's filling up all the spaces where you've let things go, allowing you to be filled with the light of God's love, the multiverse, the energy that is divine in nature. And just allow it to fill your cup as it fills you up. And while you're sitting here in this space, just be present and ask your guides, angels, higher self, whoever is with you now, for a message for you, for your own healing, something that will help you move forward. Now, while we lay here by this babbling brook, thank your guides, angels, loved ones, higher self, whoever sent that message, knowing that they're always there for you. Just keep your eyes closed and allow the energy to be received from the guides as I begin to send the healing. And I will bring us back in about 10 minutes. And again, anything you hear will only serve to take you deeper. The deeper you go, the more you will relax. Rub your hands together and slowly, very, very slowly, start to bring yourself back to the earth, eyes closed, feeling your feet on this beautiful mossy green log, taking a stretch. And when you're ready, opening your eyes up and bringing yourself back to your chair. That felt so good. My foot is asleep though. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I gotta stretch. But I looked at the clock and it was we were just coming back. I'm like, oh, perfect timing. So I hope everybody feels great. Unmute and let's hear your lovely experiences. So remember, your drink has lots of healing powers in it now, so take a sip. If you do want to write anything down that came up so you don't forget it, take a minute and just jot down a few words that'll trigger you so you'll start to remember. Vicki, you're unmuted.
The last few times I've meditated, instead of feeling the overwhelming peace and joy that I usually feel, I'm feeling sad and I feel like I want to cry. Like there's something that I have to get out, but I don't know what.
Okay.
My eyes feel full of tears and a sadness, and I'm like worried, like something's stuck, something's on me, there's something attached to me or something. I don't know, because I
don't think anything's attached to you. So I think what you might be feeling is you may be someone who's very sensitive to other people's emotions. You might be picking up on other people around you. So tonight you might be picking up on someone's sadness in the group. Could be something you're dealing with, but we can't take on other people's energy, can't take on spirit's energy unless we allow them in. So nothing can attach to you. I'm sorry when people say, oh, I've got a demon attached to me or something like that. Is not true. I'm sorry. Like, it's really, there are negative things out there. And if your vibration is very low, yes, you can pick up negative things, but your energy's not low. You have high energy like the rest of the group. And that's the thing. The people in our group we do all have good energy. Even when you're sad, our energy might dip, but you're not picking up low energies. People who pick that up are usually people who dabble in drugs, alcohol, different things that are really going to take you lower. Or if you were somebody who is seriously mentally depressed, that you could pick up other things. But the thing is, I don't feel like that for you. I feel like it's probably something you're either going through that's emotionally coming up to the surface, and it might be right around this area where it's coming up at the throat and it's coming out the eyes. And what comes out your eyes is what your heart can't say. So it may be something that you're tuning into that you don't even realize is wanting to come up. Maybe it's from years prior. Plus you have water behind you. I'm not going to say that's what it is, but water is an emotion, especially the ocean. It's very healing. It's a very healing emotion because emotions are energy in motion, right? So it's energy that moves. And if something wants to come out, let it out, because that's the way you're going to heal it. You almost have to feel it in order to heal it, because you can't heal it if you don't want to acknowledge it or feel it. So maybe what I would do is the next time you meditate, you could set the intention, what is this I'm feeling and how do I release it? Because it's probably not yours. However, that being said, if we are very open, and we're so open to the point that we are like a little sponge and we pick up everyone else's energy, we do need boundaries. Really important to have healthy boundaries. If you're someone who you walk into a room and someone just had a fight and you're like, oh God, I can feel all this, it's so heavy, you might be one of those people who's highly sensitive. But that, you just need to learn really good boundaries. And staying grounded will be the best way for you to do that. So I would probably set the intention to really ground and then connect in with your guides, just even if you don't know who they are, just guides, angels, someone, higher self. I just want to know what this is and how do I release it, and let it come. It might come in the form of an image. It could come in the form of a word. It could come up as a memory of something that you had pushed way, way down when you were a little kid. And it's finally resurfacing, because that comes up a lot for a lot of people when you're going through healing. Does that make sense to you, Vicki?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just unusual. Because it used to always be a very pleasant experience, and the last few times it's been very sad.
Okay. Do you have anything going on in your personal life that would be causing that? Not really? Okay. Mm. So what I would maybe suggest is to, before you go into a meditation, if you don't want to try to figure out what that is, just set the intention that I'm going to have a wonderful meditation. This is really a place of peace for me. And that's all that will come through. Your intention is in charge of everything. Does anybody else want to share anything that might help her there? Maybe they found that works? because I always think everybody has different ideas.
I like to say that whenever I've had those emotions as well, and that it can bring up old wounds, childhood wounds, and you can just honor it and let it flow, and it's not going to stay. It's temporary. I think that we all go through ups and downs, and I definitely have had those, depending on what's going on in my life, and also wounds that from the past that come through. They just suddenly come from nowhere, and this, like they say, this too shall pass. And meditation is one of the most beautiful things and escapes that you can ever have in your life, and it will be good again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you do get really stuck with that, I do some work with emotions to clear some different things. So if you ever do get stuck and need help, you can always get some help clearing them. But a lot of it really is just setting an intention and releasing that to let it go. So like Joanne said, honoring it, seeing it, almost saying, okay, I understand it. I don't really want to feel it, but I understand what it is now, so I'm going to release it. So I think sometimes we have to go through the feeling, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we can acknowledge it and just let it go, as long as you know what it is. And if you don't, then just, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to feel like this, and setting the intention for, feeling better. So, but I think you're right, Joanne. It is a nice time to be able to get back into that place of feeling good. But sometimes we do feel those things that come up. So thank you for sharing that, Vicki. Anything in the experience that was a little bit more positive that maybe you want to share that was something you noticed?
The usual, all my guides telling me, you're loved, wrapping you up in a hug, and it's all going to be good, and be good to yourself, and don't be hard on yourself, and all of that. That's the good part. That's the struggle. It's like I feel like I want to cry, and they're telling me just be good to yourself.
And there you go. And there's your answer. And maybe that's just what you needed to hear. Maybe like I saw you going like this. Maybe you're juggling different emotions. You don't even realize that you're juggling. So yeah, be good to yourself. I'm glad your guides came in and said that, because I think that's super important. So let's go down to Kim. This was your first experience too with our healing circle. What was that like for you for the first experience?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I had like a kind of a buzzing or a humming throughout my body for a good portion of it, which was really kind of neat. For some reason, opal essence was kind of coming through when we went down to the root, and so I kind of felt like that stayed with me the whole time. And at one point, I definitely saw much more green than anything else, like in just colors that I tend to get colors a lot of times, just in general when I'm meditating and stuff. And it was a beautiful green, and ironically, a friend of mine who had passed along quite a few years ago, who was very Irish, kind of just sort of showed up and gave me a little, like, good job, Kim. Like, you're doing great. Like, keep going. And it was kind of like a surprise, because I just haven't seen or heard from her in a long time, and I felt like maybe it was because of the green, that kind of showed up as a result, because she was very Irish and she had the red hair and all that, and it just brought me to her for some reason. But overall, it was just really kind of I did almost feel like I said the energy flowing through, which was really, really kind of nice. So. It's interesting.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had a good experience, and there's no right or wrong whether it was good, heavy. Sometimes your energy is going to be all different. Every experience is different, and that's the beauty of the healing circle. But just know that you're getting what you need, even if things are coming up that were a little heavier, like for Vicki. Maybe that's something that needed to surface to be able to let go. And Kim, I'm glad that you had that experience. So basically, I wanted to check in with you two first, because you've not done this before. Joanne, what was your experience?
Very, very relaxed as always, and I almost fell asleep. I think I went somewhere else.
That's awesome. I love it.
I had all kinds of different things come through. I had lapis lazuli for the stone, for the crystal, which is beautiful for mediumship. I also had a visit to my old basement my childhood basement, which was really interesting, with all the kittens that were born there, and the dogs came through. Lots of animals came through for me. So that was heartwarming. And I also had a fish in the beginning, a fish swimming upstream, like salmon, you know how they swim upstream, and I felt like it was myself going upstream for some reason.
Interesting.
And at the very end, a pastor came through, priest or a pastor, and I was like, what do you do? Very clear man. I don't know who he is, but it was like, what are you doing here?
That's interesting.
So, yeah,
Did he
very
say
interesting. No, it was right at the very, very end. So,
and the salmon swimming upstream, that's interesting. And you thought it was yourself, like, you know, going against the current instead of flowing with it.
And it's true because, but that's what they do in order to get to the end result, right? For the prize, I guess you could say. Or, yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. I love hearing everybody's experiences. It's so cool. Okay, so Tasha, let's hear your experience, then we'll go to Leah.
Mine were really more physical sensations that I was having as soon as, like, once we got through, you know, and we were on the log and everything like that. I felt like this hand just like on my temple, almost like a Reiki hand, just sitting, like it was sitting there, like it was so palpable. I could totally feel it. And then my lips were making like this weird, like every once in a while, this really interesting like tingle that they don't ever get. And then I envisioned like the Reiki just to kind of increase the energy that I was getting. And as soon as I did that, I felt like this little thing. It was almost like my crown opened up and I could feel like the hole where the light was going in through it. And then later I felt it right here. So that was really interesting too. And then the message I got was just allow, because I just need to allow this stuff to like just flow and happen. And I got the message like, you may not get a hit, but it's never going to be wrong. It just let it go. Just allow everything to happen. And the stone I got was green calcite. I'm not really sure why. I have a green calcite that I love, and that's what I envisioned. So I'll have to see more of why that may have come in. Like I want to read more about it and see.
Oh yeah.
But I did get like love and calm from that stone. So.
Beautiful. I love that. And anything that came in for you, like as far as a crystal or you can Google anything, right? But just remember, Google is someone's opinion. And so take it with a grain of salt. If you read through like, you know, the calcite spiritual meaning and you're like, oh, this totally fits. And then there's one thing that doesn't, then just let that go. Because again, it's someone's opinion. But if it resonates, that's awesome. I always say Google whatever, because you never know. You might find something cool you didn't know. What was your experience, Leah?
Yeah, well, I saw clear quartz was the crystal, and the message that I heard was a single word, which was create, which makes sense for me because I've been doing, you know, a lot of meditating over the weekend, and, you know, like researching a lot about the astrological events that are going on this week. You know, we had the solar eclipse this morning, and switching over into the Lunar New Year, and then in a couple of days is the Saturn-Neptune convergence. And so I've just been doing a lot of research about that and what it means for me, and what I, you know, keep getting is new creations, and which fits because I'm trying to get back into my YouTube channel. I've been wanting to get back into my YouTube channel. I took a break from it for over a year, and it's time to go back. I just need to carve out the time, and I have a plan in motion. So I'm feeling better about it.
Yeah, it was a really nice experience. I thought that was really cool. Could you guys feel the moss? I could totally feel it with my feet.
And then for Lisa, I don't know, I just really, as soon as I knew I was going to be working on your neck, but it took me to your sacral area right away. And then I had, I do a lot of homeopathy, so I popped in my head 2 remedies that I threw to you also, like, the energy went to you, I guess.
Yeah.
And, I felt the guides were kind of working on my back, which I think was symbolic that they were working on your back, because it felt really, I know it's in your neck, but they just kept taking me to your back.
No, so it's actually in my left hip too, which is really interesting. I forgot to say that, and I thought, oh, I should have said that too, because it hurts there, and it's like, I think it's radiating all the way down and across. It's like right in where your sciatic would be.
Yeah, so they were all in your back the whole time. But even then I saw you laying on like a chiropractic bed, which then turned sort of into a med bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw I mean, this is gonna sound crazy, but I saw like galactic healers helping you too. So you got a lot of,
No, I'll take that. That's
a
really
lot of
cool.
help.
That's really cool because I've been asking, like, last night I couldn't sleep at all. I was like, please help me sleep. Everywhere I turned, it was like I could not get comfortable. I'm like, this sucks. So I'm like, please help me. So
Well, they were helping.
They're helping. So thank you. That was awesome. And really good validation because it literally is like my back cheek. And I was like, why does this hurt so bad? It's like right where your sacrum comes out, but on the side. So that is really good validation for you. So I wanted to share this with you. Third time, Atlas correction. So if you ever wondered what it's like to get your Atlas corrected, this is the bone underneath your head that holds your head in place. I had one done again today. I just came back from the chiropractor and I couldn't stop crying. And I thought, why am I crying? And I thought, I better make a video about this because I think it needs to be shared with people who maybe need to hear this because maybe they're going through something like this and they could use an Atlas correction. I have to keep this on for 3 hours. And it's been like an hour and a half. So anyway, I have to keep this on. That's why it's on. And I guess it's just so I don't do anything weird with my neck. I am allowed to move it. I am allowed to, turn my head. I just can't do any crazy looking over my shoulder. Anyway, keep me aligned. But on the way home, I couldn't stop crying. So I just look a mess. And I was like, is this normal? And I Googled it. And yes, you know what? It is very normal to cry after an Atlas correction. Who knew? Who knew? I probably could have asked my chiropractor, but I was already in the car and I went through like 10 tissues. All my makeup came off. Now I understand what I was feeling. So I'm just going to sit down for a second. Been talking to the big guy because here's the thing. Sometimes when we're going through stuff and we don't know what we're going through, it's really good to ask for help. I asked for a lot of prayers, a lot of positive thoughts. It was interesting on the way home. I got lots of signs from my friend here and lots of 344s, 444, and all my other signs from the spirit world. So I know that they're working with me. I know that this is healing, and I did ask and intend for the healing that came through today when I had the adjustment done, that it would be really powerful and it would be complete healing. And then I wondered why I was crying. I'm crying because it was a huge emotional release, which we hold a lot in our neck. And, there's a lot of trauma that was stored there in the ligament and the fascia and the tissues. And I believe all those tears that I was shedding were really because it was my heart and my soul and all the things letting go that have been holding on, that have kept this causing an issue. To say I do feel a lot better now, thank God. I came back home because I thought, you know what, it's important. Let me go home. Let me get situated. I wanted to go to the store, but I thought, you look a wreck. But you know what? Then you have to just be okay with where you are. I was okay that I was crying. I thought people saw me. I've got this neck brace on. I look like a crazy person. And I'm crying. And I thought, well, I guess that's just normal. It's important to share with you, no matter when you're seeing this. This is a multifaceted, timeless message. I didn't even read it till just now. Your time is now. So if you needed to hear that, your time is now. Today is February 18th, 2026. But if you're seeing this anytime, God has a way of working through others, right? In mysterious ways we know nothing about. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard things get, you can do hard things. Your time is now. So keep on going. Keep on believing in yourself and keep on being true to you. So I just wanted to share this because I look like a little chipmunk and now it's making me smile and laugh. And I'm glad I can just be okay to move around and not be such a mess like I was before I had this correction. But you guys are awesome, and I hope everybody feels really good. Does everybody feel good from this healing session? Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. And what's everybody's biggest takeaway? I always like to hear it. So I'm going to start with you, Vicki. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight?
That I was sad and now I'm feeling better.
That's huge. Awesome. How about you, Kim?
That I can feel the energy through a computer, which is crazy. So
right, and that is pretty cool, which is wild. How about you, Tasha?
I guess the whole more self-love and just allowing myself to just flow more and just relax.
That's awesome. How about you, Leah?
Just some of the messages that I got from everybody was just confirming for and encouraging for what I'd already been thinking about and trying to plan for.
That's awesome. I have to say tonight, I mean, every time we do this, I always say, oh my gosh, every time it's so amazing the way Spirit will work with our group, depending on who's here and what they need to do. But tonight, feeling that flowing energy was so different to me. It was really wild. So I hope that they keep doing that. That was my biggest takeaway. It was amazing to be with all of you and to feel this energy, but to feel the difference. And maybe you'll notice this the more you come to the circle, that it builds upon itself, and they'll work with you in different ways. The more you do this, the more they'll open up. My goal eventually for our group is to maybe even start channeling things. So not only just feeling the energy, but then maybe to channel energy, you know, where we can actually bring it through in voice, which would be super cool. But you have to build up the energy in the body first, I believe, before that can really open up. Some people just open up with that, but I think we'll set the intention if you guys want to go forward with that, and maybe we'll turn our healing circles into a channeling circle / healing circle. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's something we could definitely do. So thank you guys for being here. For anybody who's new here, or for anybody maybe who isn't, a lot of times we forget to do this, but it's important. So if you leave here and you feel like you're picking up everyone's energy, make sure you rinse your wrists, wash your hands, and then rinse your wrists with cold water. It's really good for clearing the energy, or if you have a different way to do it. But we also close down. We usually make a circle and like a heart, and then just bring the energy down back down to the earth, because you don't want to be as wide open as you are when you leave our circle. Thank our guides, angels, and all the masters and healers that are here. And thank you guys for being here tonight. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. So
Thank you. Bye.
good night. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm Lisa, the Multifaceted Medium. And if you're wondering where this all stemmed from, I have other videos, which I'll link below. And I have a whole nother channel that actually I'm going to be sharing 18 visits that I've had with this chiropractor to get my neck back right, my cervical spine, since having a fall off a cliff in West Virginia back in Memorial Day weekend of 2025. All right, so take care, brush your hair, and I'll talk to you soon. Make sure you hit subscribe, like this video, and if it left you some kind of a feeling, or maybe just the message, your time is now, let us know in the comments below, because I would love to know that I'm doing work for the big guy upstairs, and that it's serving you in a way that it's touching your heart and your soul. All right, take care, friends. Bye. See you next time.